What's up? Barry here with Dumb Guys, back again with another fantasy baseball video. In this video, I'm going to recap my first week in one of my leagues. It's the Daily Roto League that I got going on with some of you guys. So if you're interested in getting Barry's perspective of what went down this past week and a half, this is the video for you. And you're going to see a little bit of insight into what I did, where I am in the standings, and how I got there. But before we get into that, of course, you're going to subscribe to the channel. You're going to show us all the love that we deserve because we're the Dumb Guys, and we're bringing you this baseball knowledge. Also, give me a like on this video, and leave your comments below. Want to hear what you have to say so that we can reply to you, get the conversation going, so we can keep this a learning experience for everybody. Okay, let's break into this. This is, again, like I said, my daily fantasy roto league. And what I did here is I built this team for offense. That was my main goal in this draft. And I did that by drafting guys like Stanton, Correa, Dozier, guys like that, in addition to a few other guys, which I'm going to get to right now because I have been dealing with some adversity in this league. And the first piece of adversity that I had to struggle with was Justin Turner going on the DL. I had him slotted in as my third baseman, but luckily I have Seager, and Seager was able to slip into my third base slot. So that helped me out. That's how I got through that little struggle there. And I'm going to go to my team here. And so that was Kyle Seager is the guy that I put in there. The second point of diversity that I had to deal with was Will Myers going on the DL. He was in for a couple of days. He was kind of struggling. Came in one day, hit a home run, and then boom, was on the DL. So first base was a struggle for me as well. And so I went through a couple of players there. One of the guys I picked up was Joe Mauer, which I talked about in videos leading up to the season. And one of the reasons why I did that is because I was trying to boost my batting average up, because my batting average is really low in this league. But what I ended up doing just the other day is getting rid of Mauer, picking up Hanley Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez is pretty hot, so I wanted to stick him in and see if I can get some stats from that guy. And finally, some of the diversity that I've been dealing with is Gary Sanchez. Not only is Gary Sanchez off to an extremely slow start. I think he's got one hit. It was a home run. He might have two hits, but struggling at the plate. And then the other day in a 14-inning game, he got a cramp in his leg. They pulled him from that game. He sat out the next two games, I think, and he hasn't been in a game since. Luckily, it's Monday right now, and they have an off day. I think they were just giving him a good long rest, and he'll probably be back in the lineup starting on Tuesday. But just in case, because of his slow start, I picked up Yasmani Grandal, so I can stick him in, and he's off to a pretty hot start. So just in case, or until Sanchez gets going, I'm going to have Grandal to drop into my catcher slot. One of the things that I also did strategically when building this team and putting it together really fits in nicely with the video Heath put up this Sunday regarding pitching strategy. And so because I built this team specifically for offense, I had to wait on pitching. And my pitching is doing pretty good so far. It's really holding up. And I'll tell you who is helping me out there. I'm going to name three pitchers that I got late that are killing it for me right now. Mike Clevenger. I picked him up in the 19th round. And what I really like about him is that he slots into the relief pitcher role. So he's a starter, but I can put him in the relief pitcher role. And that fits into the strategy of punting the saves. So I actually have one save this season so far in this league. And I got that from Brad Peacock. Brad Peacock is pitching in long relief or in a setup type of role for Houston, but I think their closer was really tired the other day, had been working a lot, so they put Brad Peacock in for a save opportunity and got it. I also heard that I think it's Giles is struggling a little bit. So who knows? Maybe Brad Peacock, ends up a closer. Probably not, but it actually doesn't go with my strategy. But it is what it is. So I got one save from him. But that's why I like Mike Clevenger, because Clevenger slots into that, and I was punting saves. And I'm really looking for wins. I'm looking for strikeouts. Those are the two categories I'm trying to steal by punting the saves. The next guy, so I think I mentioned this. I picked Clevenger up in the 19th round in the draft. Sean Manaea, if that's how you pronounce his name, I'm not sure. I picked him up in the 18th round, and he also has been performing pretty nicely. Again, late pitchers, young pitchers, picking them up, and they're doing the job. They're doing the job so far, keeping me in it. And then the last guy that I'll mention here is Gio Gonzalez. Gio Gonzalez I picked up in the 14th round, and I don't know why he was going so late. I mentioned this early on in the in spring training that I thought Gio Gonzalez was getting undervalued, and so far off to a really good start. So that is kind of how I got there in the pitcher front, and and like I mentioned, it's waiver wires as well. I was off to the waiver wires, and I picked up guys like Chase Anderson, Matt Davidson, who's off to a hot start, like I mentioned, Hanley Ramirez, Yasmani Grandal, and I just picked up Mike Minor, who came off of a pretty hot start this weekend. So I get a mix and match and move those guys around in this daily Roto league, try and get the best stats possible. And what I did, as I mentioned, punting the saves, I ended up drafting Cody Allen, and that really didn't work out for me because I was punting saves all along, but I didn't decide I was going to punt saves until after I drafted Cody Allen and realized there's nobody else to get. So I traded him for Aaron Nola. Now, Nola's first start wasn't super impressive, but or his first couple of starts, but they're decent. I don't know. Yeah, he had 2 starts so far, so decent, not great, good enough. Got me by. So the real big question here is, where does Dumb Guy Barry fall in the standings? Well, after a week and a half, I'm off to a really good start, and I am in first place with a score of 72. I've got let's see here. I have a 7-point lead over second place. So not too bad, not too bad. And paying off, the strategy's paying off because I'm leading in almost all of the offensive categories. I'm third in runs, first in home runs, first in RBIs, first in stolen bases. I am second to last in average, though, so batting average. I was trying to get my batting average up. And I kind of put some guys in my lineup this week to try and get that going. It's a long season. I'm off to a good start, but that doesn't mean anything. Things can change. They can change really fast. I saw a guy take a 10-point swap here overnight. So, that's a possibility. I'm also doing well in wins, which fits into my strategy of punting saves. I'm doing well or doing decent in strikeouts. And surprisingly, this is where I wasn't expecting to do so good. ERA and WHIP are pretty good. I'm second in ERA and I'm fourth in WHIP. So that's kind of where I'm at in my daily Roto league. Jay Fuego is in second place. Lovable Losers is in third place. Chris's Peerless Team is in fourth. Base Knockers, fifth. Cobra is tied for fifth. The Awesome Blossom, 7th. Money Mitch, 8th. Smart Team in 9th. And hashtag There Is No Off Season, which is Dumb Guy Heath's team, is all the way down there in last place right now. So let's hope he picks it up a little bit. But again, really early in the season, and I'm looking at the dynamic live standings, so these things are changing as we speak. The key here on this daily roto, I think, is just watching it every day. It's a daily league. You got to be ready to put your guys in. Especially you want to look at matchups and things like that. There's also a max games chart that you got to keep an eye on, and I'm doing pretty good in that. My outfielders and my utility are a couple games over, but I'll just let some guys have some off days, and it'll be fine. Pitching also looks like I'm pacing to go over there, so I'll just have to slow that down a little bit. But the way it's going right now, it's looking pretty good. I'll pace those guys off, and the key here, check those waiver wires. Have a strategy going in. Those are the things that I'm focusing on. I had a particular strategy that I wanted to go with, and I got a bonus by my ERA and my WHIP doing as good as they are. But everything else seems to be panning out. Even though I'm not getting the greatest starts from guys like Giancarlo Stanton, he's hit the home runs for me, right? He's got me some ribbies and some runs. His batting average is super low, but it's not going to stay low forever. But that's kind of what I was going for. I was going for the home runs. I was going for the runs. I was going for the RBIs. And I got some stolen bases in there as well. Kind of sprinkled those in. So far, so good. That is the recap of Week 1. That was opening day through April 8th. And, keep watching. Find out what happens to the Dumb Guys and the rest of the league here in this daily roto. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you did in your league to be successful. What moves did you make? What guys did you pick up? What strategy did you enact in your league to win? And if you got any advice for me, if you see what I'm doing here and you think maybe I should make a move, let me know. I want to hear that too. Once again, give us a subscribe, give us a like, leave your comments, and stay dumb.
Dumb Guys.